Cool. Awesome. All right. So first of all, the idea of today was to have a like an open forum type of conversation. 10, I think like last week or 10 days ago, we had like a failed town hall. We were just coming out of the meeting in Lisbon, and like there's nothing actually happened. So we thought it would be nice, even though we have been having some pretty in-depth conversations in the CBD spaces on the last couple of Saturdays, and also we had like a special edition last Tuesday with Esteban, talking with the community about well, basically how he sees this change and like his personal vision, even though he's not involved operationally in the project. He's one of the original white paper authors and founder of the project. So it was nice to hear him talking with the community. Um, so I don't know. I've opened like a Slido link. It's on the chat. It's on the announcement channel. Um, I don't know if anyone want to maybe ask questions, open their mics, jump in on the stage, and talk, or if we can wait for a couple of minutes for people to add questions there. If not, I can do like a quick recap on where we are now and what are the next steps. But I would like to give everyone the opportunity to basically speak out loud, say like what you think, what are your concerns, what are your doubts. So hopefully we can get out of this town hall with more information and a little bit more of certainty of where we're going.
Well, that's a
So
great idea, Gino. And here in the chat, HP dropped a Slido link for people to add some question. So maybe that will be a better approach to wait a couple of minutes for folks to add their question, and maybe we can go over. But in the meantime, if you want to do like a recap of where we are now, that will be good. Will be good to give uh, everyone some topics. Maybe they need to hear something before asking something. What do you think?
sure, yeah, I can do that. So 10 days ago, the initial poll proposal that we posted regarding this idea of okay, should we basically change how the DAO operates, got passed. I think there was some amazing conversations on that proposal. And what I tried to do when creating the proposal was to give everyone as much as like insights into the future as possible. And that's why I created the request for comments topics in the forum for the draft proposals that we are planning to post. So the idea now is, I mean, I encourage everyone, and I've been like stepping down just a little bit because I felt that I was like talking too much everywhere and to everyone about all of this. So I like just stepped down this week, saying, okay, maybe give the community room for ask questions or for provide comments. But I encourage everyone to go to the draft proposal, to the draft wherever topics on the forum, the request for comments, and add your comments in that. We've been having some conversations, but my feeling is that the conversations we had in the poll proposal, in the initial poll, were more in depth than the ones that we are having on the request for comment topics on the forum. And I think it's important for everyone to be as detailed as possible, ask as many questions as you can come out with regarding the structure of the, I don't know, the structure of the council. How are we gonna win down the grants program? What are the things that you would like to see in these proposals that that are not there yet, um, concerns, comments, I don't know, anything related to specifics of each one of these draft proposals, I think it will enrich the conversation and take us to a better outcome. As you all know, because you all been participating in the DAO for quite a long time, draft proposals are drafts, right? So the idea of the next steps will be to post the drafts that are in the forum with the changes and additions that came out from the discussions on the comments as draft proposals. And when we do that, we're not going to link the RFC for the governance proposals on the draft, but we will open topics to discuss the final implementation details of the governance proposals before actually, of course, like posting everything, or even before the proposals passes or fails, because we think that it's important to have that conversation in the forum. So thanks, for the RFC links. Um, Okay, I see a question from Cheddar. Can the DAO develop and market other clients and features independent of Foundation's roadmap and plans for client products? The answer is yes, and the proof of that is that the Protocol Squad, I've said this quite a few times already, but I think that the work that they're doing is pretty good, especially when you consider that there are like 3 engineers working on 2.5 different clients without managers, without product vision, without anything. So basically, they are the ones building a demo that you can see. I don't know, Leon, if you want to post links on the chat, but they are actually expanding the capabilities of the protocol by creating alternative clients that can be used in platforms that the foundation is not focused right now, which I think it's a great use case. I don't see as a problem that the DAO could maybe develop a client for wherever, for web or for PC, even though Foundation is building its own client, and that's going to be like the reference client. But I see this use case especially insightful and interesting when we see independent teams building clients for platforms that the foundation is not even focused right now, like VR or mobile. Feel free to like raise your hands and jump in the stage if you want. Mariana has a question regarding the DAO HQ. Maybe the Ground Support Squad has more insights into that, like the launch date of the DAO HQ.
Sino, there you are.
Yes. Hi everyone. How are you?
Hi there.
Um, the DAO key is already developed. We need to do some changes regarding the wallets that will be in charge. But I believe that we can do it next week. Why not? But in overall, the project is finished. In fact, we have some links there where you can try it. Let me find it. I can share it here. But regarding your question, Mariana, next week, why not? We can do it.
When you say it's finished, do you mean it's deployed in world, or it's like what does it mean that it's finished?
It's deployed in a world, but Dapcraft is the owner of that world. We need to develop in our world, basically. That's why we are thinking in buy a new name, for example, or something like that. So basically that, but also we can do it in Genesis City. However, we still need some permission from foundation, and I believe that you, Shino, sign up the agreement with them, so we can move it to Genesis City also.
Yeah, so foundation lended the land, but that's already been done. So and it's like everything is ready for that. So it would be nice to maybe to communicate like a release plan to the community, because I mean I've seen it and we all seen it like months ago from the video that Cheddar made and everything. But if it's not like in world, it's not finished. I mean it's not usable. So it would be nice to have that. Regarding the wallets, so the thing is that who's gonna who's gonna control the deployment? That was the question. I think we agreed that the DAO committee, which is the right now is the only entity being formally chosen by the community, should be the one who has the rights to operate the scene. So they are the ones who should who should have like deploy rights on the land lended by foundation.
Perfect. We can add the wallet from the DAO committee, and they can have the rights to develop to deploy in the world. I believe that, as HP said, we have DCL DAO and DAO DCL name, so we can use that.
Okay. Regarding HP questions of the status of in-world voting in the DAO HQ, I tested that and it worked. It wasn't only a link to the governance website, but again, I tested that on the world, not in Genesis City. So at least from the last time I saw that is working. But again, I think it's so. These are like it's an important project that the community has been waiting for such a long time. So I think it's worth to have like a formal release plan communicated on the announcement channel next week, and also to put some pressure on the DAppCraft folks, not because they are not doing their work, that they've done their work, that a project is not finished until it's usable by the community and deployed in world. Regarding Mariana's question, no, that's it.
Oh, there is some other questions in
In
the
Slido?
Slido.
Okay.
Yes, I can read the first one if you want.
Yeah, sure.
For folks that are not seeing. This is a concern. I'm still concerned about how we will find the best candidate for the council when our voting structure is still extremely broken. From you.
Cool. So I mean, we had a lot of conversations regarding, and everyone who's been in this one can jump in and say whatever you want, or even in the community summit in Buenos Aires, because we already had conversations. We also had conversations regarding that. The reality is that we need to align the good actors with voting power into these decisions. I mean, that's the only way we will block bad actors with voting power, because the reality is that to change the rules of the game from within the game itself, you need something else than just like proposing a radical change on the voting structure, and hoping everyone will vote against their own privileges, let's say. So for me, in this case, if we want to start doing some fundamental changes on the DAO structure, we need to rely on the voting mechanisms that we have, but align the good actors who can make those proposals be a reality and pass. So not everyone who has a lot of voting power has the objective of draining the DAO or blocking proposals just for sake of fun. So we need to find that people, and I know that people is out there, because some of them participated in the proposals, and I know that some of them haven't participated yet, but they will if they need to wake in. So my perception is that we need to start moving towards at least making the DAO less attractive for the people who can drain the DAO only with their voting power, and then develop some mechanisms for a better like representative system, at least for proposals that are directly connected with, for example, curation, content, and things related to the creators' world that, from my perspective, are not being represented in a right way in our current voting system. Okay. Cheddar is asking, is it possible for DAO to acquire this land without having to ask Foundation for permission? So what we did was to ask. So Foundation owns a lot of land, so we asked them for a lease of the land. That was it, because there's no way that the DAO can spend money from the DAO treasury with the current governance mechanisms. So that's why we couldn't like buy that land. Even though we bought some land and we had a proposal to buy some land, none of the land that we had was suitable for the DAO HQ. So the pragmatic approach was to ask for Foundation for a 10 by 10, and that was it. I don't know, HP, if you want to add something to that. Okay, cool. There's another question on the Slido. So how can we also prevent real-world political biases from creeping into decisions about who gets elected? You can't, and that's a feature, not a bug. Like we all are people. We all are part of a community, and what you do in the community will impact on wherever you do, like online. So regarding your proposals, your submissions, your wherever your nominations to participate in the DAO. So I don't think we have to like isolate what you call real world political biases, which, at least from my understanding, is that you mean the interactions in the community from the election itself. It's part of who you are. Like you are a person. You're the same person everywhere. You can have like masks, and that's fine. But you are the same person. So what you do in the community, what you do in the world, what you do on your social media, what you do on the real like physical world might impact on your nomination, on your election or wherever. And I think that's, at least this is a completely personal opinion, I think that's fine. And there's another one regarding the voting rationale. Okay, no, that's, yeah, I know it's a pain in the ass. Sorry. So our team built that feature, and that feature is sits on top of a snapshot feature, and it doesn't have like a moderation built in. We could do something, but it will require like developing like a hacky way of hiding maybe hiding one rationale and not another. But the reality is that we didn't thought people would use it as they're using it, but that's our fault. Everyone can be on, on the internet. So that's, I don't know, that it's a design failure. But again, to do something with that, we'll have to develop like a hacky way of hiding things on the front end. Yeah, that's it. Another question from you. So how will these non-active large VP holders that you speak of know who is the best person to vote if they are not here? Okay, that's a good question. I think it will depend on them to inform themselves if they will weigh in. I will also say that not all the interactions and not all the conversations are held in public. So maybe they know who they are, but it's part of personal interactions between community members and maybe people who is aligned with the project and has a lot of stake, but maybe it's not public in the community. Okay, Alpha. What if there was an account the community could delegate to, and this account is anonymously run to be able to be the checks and balances rather than leaning on Esteban? I think that's a great idea. That will some DAOs do that. Some DAOs have body of delegates, even political parties inside. But that will require the community to organize themselves to do that. I think it would be a nice idea. Us as individuals will not be able to go against millions of VP, as creating an anonymous political party that represents our majority vote would be an interesting experiment. Yes, I mean, definitely. Can we vote to get rid of the feature and just use the comment sections like we did before? Yeah, I mean, we don't have to vote. If you want to create a poll just to gather some community sentiment, we can get rid of that. I think it's pretty useful though, because that gets registered on Snapshot and it's linked to your wallet in a way that anyone can see how you interacted on a DAO with your wallet address. So people abusing of that system will get registered as people abusing the comment section of a DAO. So they are harming themselves more than they are harming us. But yes, we can. If you wanna create a poll, and if the community deems so, we can hide the future.
Maybe Gino, we can remove it from on chain and make it accessible by the government squad. So the comment will stay there, but if anything we want to remove, it can be removed easily and not registered with the wallet somehow. If
yeah, I mean,
you can check with the team. Not necessary to remove it all. I mean.
No, what we could do is to remove, so basically to hide the rationale from the top of the comment section, and only if you click on the voters list and click on the rationale of that vote, you will see the rationale.
You will see the.
We could do that. My idea behind this is that people who held
a big amount,
a big wallet, could steward the community with their reasons why behind the voting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could do that. Definitely. Yes, you're right, Shelly. Regarding the comments moderation, we thought of it as something a little bit different, but yes.
How we can make sure to have alignment and cooperation with the foundation more than now, because like something like Atlas, I use Atlas, let's say, a lot, or DCL metrics. So those get the grants and they are laying in GitHub. So how we can make sure later with a console that those features will be implemented in the platform more than just laying in GitHub. Like this is one of the important things to do. Otherwise, it will stay somehow the same. So how we can make sure that the foundation can implement many of, not all, not necessarily all, but 50, maybe 50, 60, 70% of the platform grants to be implemented in the platform foundation.
So my point of view regarding that is that so for example the experiment with Genesis City. So the Genesis City map that was funded by the DAO got implemented into a reference client. Why? Because there was like personal communication and alignment between the foundation and the team building Genesis City map. And sometimes, like, I mean, you can implement wherever the bazillion processes for making that happen, but sometimes with the right people having the right conversations and the right context, it's easier to make that a reality. So I feel that if the DAO via the operational arm funds projects that are aligned with quarterly or wherever annual objectives, and those objectives are, I mean, have been approved by the council, and the council have at least one member from the foundation, and there is a conversation facilitated there, we will see a higher success rate of those things being implemented. But not also that, like the clients that the DAO is building or the features that the DAO is adding to the protocol layer will also have to adopt some of like those tools and projects. I think it's sometimes it's about having the conversations.
Yeah, because now they just left us somehow, like they don't adopt any something like Atlas. I used to track my audience on some of the lands or ports, so I need to implement this in my file. But for me, I know I've been in the space for many years, but for someone new, he will not know how to implement this in his file. So he doesn't know how to track people or to track addresses. So it would be way better to be implemented in the platform itself. So yeah, but it could be someone from the console have more connection, because that I ask you, I know you're more involved with the foundation. So it's all a matter of communication, I think.
We have another question regarding, so Ozzy is asking, why is delegated VP not transitive? Why can one not sub-delegate the VP that was delegated to them? I mean, because if I'm delegating voting power, I'm trusting you as the delegate of my voting power. And if I want to delegate to someone else, I could do that. I don't know of any DAO doing transitive VP delegation. I feel that it's weird. Like I'm choosing you or someone to be the delegate of my voting power, and I want you to do that, and I can reclaim that voting power in any proposal where I want to vote. So I don't know. I think it's how most of the DAOs implemented that, and I don't see as a good idea to sub-delegate voting power. But again, that's my personal opinion. Okay. Next question. So can I mark the questions as answered? I don't know.
I think HP is the one that created the Slido. Maybe he can.
Oh no, I created it. I created it, but
okay.
I don't have the admin view. I don't know why. Login as host.
Okay. If you want to join the stage, we can maybe listen if he has a question.
Yeah, if anyone wants to jump in.
Okay. Let's try to keep the question short, like not go on for 15 minutes. Ozzy, go for it.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, right on. So yeah, I want to elaborate on the delegated VP question. ultimately, if you're trusting me or trusting whoever to do what the right thing with the VP that you're delegating to them, and they think the right thing is to actually delegate that to someone else who might know even better than them, then what's the problem? I mean, if you trust them to do what's the best with the VP, then why is the problem for them to actually delegate it to someone else? Like, if you don't want to deal with going to see who might be the expert and everything, like, you know, someone, you trust them, and you just want them to deal with your VP, you do that, and then they go and do the research. They go and see who is actually going to make the right decisions according to them. And so that's the person who really should have all the consolidated VP, because ultimately, one of the things I'm really puzzled is, why do people want to spread a VP, their delegated their VP, the delegation of their VP? Like, the point is to have the person you trust the most be the one having the most weight in the decisions, and so you actually want to consolidate all VP possible into that one person. The disseminated VP is a little like, it's a little contrary to the dynamic of a company, in a sense, like where it's a bit like stock and voting power, like and so companies are more like dictatorships, and they work better that way. As long as we can keep a benevolent dictatorship, it really should work better than a democracy. We shouldn't be trying to go for a decentralized democracy. We should be trying to go for a decentralized, benevolent dictatorship. And I think that's possible thanks to the blockchain. Thank you.
I mean, I tend to agree with the last part of what you said, but I think that you can do that by creating the structure and asking the people to delegate to you. Like, you don't need delegation for that to happen. I mean, if the community thinks that that's something that we want and that we feel it will improve the like, it will improve the status of the voting mechanism, it's as simple as crafting the proposal and getting feedback and getting support. I agree with I agree with the idea, and I know that multiple DAOs have something like that, like Lido, ENS. Like, I think at some point Nouns DAO did something like that. So basically, everyone delegating to one or two wallets for important proposals and asking for that wallet to vote. It's something similar to what DG has been doing with their snapshot space, or even meta trackers. So we have some experiments of, like, people voting to decide how a big wallet will vote, like how a wallet with a lot of PP will vote. But I don't think the subdelegation is a must-have feature for that to happen. I think that the must-have feature for that to happen is someone with enough interest, alignment, and will to craft the structure and ask people to delegate voting power to them.
Right. Ultimately, it's a time-tested dynamic. State representatives and senators, all that are people have delegated power. It works. It works pretty well. It just have to make sure to delegate it to the right people.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we have the recognized delegates. You can see their submissions in the forum. You can, like, there are multiple ways of understanding who is the best person to delegate your voting power with. If you access DAO profile in the governance platform, from your profile, you will see the percentage, like the match percentage between how that person voted and you voted. So we have the tools there for that to happen. What is needed is, like, alignment and someone willing to do that. Okay, I see there are a lot of conversations regarding DCL University. So hopefully that's been answered. I don't have info on that.
Yeah,
but
have been answered. I sent a
Okay.
couple of links and people should take a look at that. So it's there.
Cool.
I don't know if someone want to open the mic and give their appreciation on that grant and we can give them the space. Why is it fun? Oh yeah. I'm not going to say anything about that. I think we already know. But to move on into the conversation, okay, someone have perfect. Hello, how are you, Anwar?
Hi there.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I had to change my audio device really quick. So I wasn't affiliated with that Decentraland University live teaching platform. I just took a moment to look through the requirements, and a lot of people are kind of making the assumption that it was something that needed to be available in a world deployed that somebody else was going to be maintaining. But the first thing in there, it says it covers the creation of an NPM package compatible with SDK7, which developers can use to bring this functionality into their own scenes. So if we didn't understand that when we passed the grant, that's kind of on us. I mean, we could definitely say it's a little bit overpriced. You know, this little kind of ability to make just a classroom and switch things out in real time. I could probably find a lot of examples that that delivered a lot more with with a little bit less, or even a lot less funding. But we can't like go through and start witch hunts without reading through the entire proposal. Like, it looks like something was delivered. It's pretty much exactly what they promised. If it didn't meet our expectations because we didn't interpret what it was correctly, then that's kind of on the DAO. That's not on the people who made this. So again, not affiliated with these people at all. I have no idea who they are, but got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, it looks like they did the job that they said they were going to do. So that's all.
Thank you, Noah. So we're going to use the next minutes to close up regarding subjects to the DAO. So I don't know if someone else have another question or comment. Okay, so we can wait like 2 more minutes if some question or comment appears regarding to the DAO, and then we can drop out.
So someone anonymous is asking if does anyone has issues loading wearables in the marketplace, like the infinite scroll. I can check it in web on the marketplace, but probably there's a lot of people here with way more wearables than me. So if you wanna help and take a look. So in any specific DAO, like you're seeing that, feel free to post on Slido. But so it works for me. Okay. All right. Do we have?
I think we No, we don't have anything more in Slido. And we don't
Awesome.
have any more conversation. So thank you,
Yeah, we
Gino,
spoke
for
about-
answering this, and thank you to all the core units to be here as well, and members from the community. This was great. I think we're going to create another town hall, but more related to the core unit stuff. But I think it was important to have create a space to talk a little bit more about this. I don't know if someone raised HP, Sino, you want to say something before we drop up?
Want to thank Gino and everyone who, Zeno, Grand Sports Squad, everyone who attend, Mariana Canetza, and everyone who attend the event to put the effort to try to enhance and sustain the DAO, and appreciate all the hard work. Hopefully we can do something better in the coming weeks.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Risk.
you.
So I just wanted to update on something because it probably got like lost on the project updates and everything, but just for everyone to know. So the governance squad ended his grant 2 months ago. So we decided to not renew the funds, the grant. You can see the project update. I will post the link here in a second. But we made like the commitment with the community that we will like basically maintain and fix anything that it's broken. So feel free to post on the support channel if you see something broken on the governance platform, and we will fix it right away. But I wanted to be clear on that because you haven't seen like an update on new features, and that's because we are not like doing new features. I'm looking for, here it is, updates. If you wanna take a look at that, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Cheers. Yeah.